Hi, I'm Mr. Anime, and today I'm reviewing Gokusen, a 2004 slice-of-life anime directed by Yasuko Kobayashi. So join me in this very, very interesting review. In Gokusen, Kimiko Yamaguchi plays a delinquent high school teacher that also just so happens to be the next in line for the leadership of a Yakuza family called the Odo Group. Full Metal Panic is probably the best thing I can relate this to, because in that one you have the Sergeant Sosuke Saga trying to conceal his military life at school, where here you have Yamaguchi trying to conceal her Yakuza life at school, her gang life. If the school were to find out that she's also next in line to lead a big bad gang group, they probably would not want her to teach it at school. So a lot of the humor revolves around her trying to keep it a secret. Fighting plays a very big role in Gokusen. Yamaguchi is a very tough fighter instructor, and we often see scenes of her teaching her students, or teaching her students of the Odo Group family how to fight. And she kind of creates this standard that every other character in the anime has to kind of live up to. Oh, everyone's got to live up to Yamaguchi-san standards, you know. Everyone's got to live up to the sensei. And it works for the most part. What gets in the way a little bit is the fact that Kimiko Yamaguchi is slightly indestructible throughout the anime. A lot of the moments take place in the classroom. It's Yamaguchi and Kimiko trying to teach to the students with usually hilarious results. For instance, every time she gives them a test and gets the test back, all they've done is write stuff all over it like "fuck you bitch" and "you stupid fuck." For animation in this one, I was very impressed. It was made in 2004, but much like I said in my Ica Zero review, it's not all washed out by the shiny window spot, like in their hair, or the shiny computer-made faces. The storyline that takes place outside the classroom, well, it generally is on some sort of trip that the students have taken, or it's Kimiko back at her house with her group members, which absolutely adore her. Even though they're gang members, they act like children. And the students are high schoolers, and they also act like tiny children. I really enjoyed the dub in this one. My friend Julie requested that I watch the dub. She said that it had a lot of impact, and she said the characters had fun with their roles. And I have to agree with you. I went back and watched some of my favorite episodes in the original language, though, and I thought that they did a good job as well. Now, some of the problems with fan subs and dubs is that translations throughout time, whether it be like a play, some prose, an anime, a movie, translations can be tainted with bias. Like, you never really know. Kimiko develops to a certain point, but the director wants us to be in just as much mystery about her and her abilities as the rest of the characters. So it's almost kind of a personal thing that we don't know all about Kimiko's life, and throughout the entire anime her character only develops to a certain point, and then it stops, and then the rest is just mystery. And honestly, I think it was very effective, and I think director Yasuko did a great job with that as well. The villains don't really do much, and what they do is not nearly enough. Like, this is one of the only shows I've seen where there's no overall villainous plot. Like, the villain really doesn't have a big strategy here. Like, he's not really, the villains don't do anything for really that much personal gain. And so the villains in Gokusen are kind of weak. Not only because they don't do anything for personal gain, but because Yamaguchi can slap them around so easy, the main character. She just bumps them back. And it would have been nice to see a villain that could actually compete with her. Now, one thing that might turn a lot of people off from Gokusen and other animes like this is that it carries the genre slice of life. I've seen some anime reviewers that are like, "Oh, I hate slice of life." So what are you left with? Gokusen is a fairly fresh story. It's an enjoyable action piece. It's got great direction, solid animation. Only problem is bad villains and a fairly poor ending. But overall, it's not enough for me to not recommend Gokusen. In this slice of life comedy, it's definitely a winner. Even though sometimes it kind of falls a little bit out of the borders of realism and kind of into the this would never happen realm. But it's okay, because I would recommend Gokusen to just about anyone. And because of the good things way outweigh the bad, I have to give Gokusen a very rewarding 8.5 out of 10. It's only 13 episodes, it doesn't take long to watch it, and I'd say it's well worth your time, not only for a pretty good story, but for a good laugh.